I think this is a good time to transition into our history segment. So I'm going to go right into that. I wanted to bring back, I think this is one of the first history segments I did back in season 1, talking about Viola Spolin, known pretty much as the founder of improvisation.
Yeah.
What's that?
The godmother of
yes, the godmother
founding
of
mother.
Yeah,
founding mother of improv.
Yeah. So I wanted to come back to her because we were talking to Joe today, and he himself is a coach. And I don't know, after rereading this excerpt about Viola Spolin from my favorite book, Improv Nation, I kind of was like, yeah, she was kind of the first life coach. Why not give her that title too? So I want to just remind people of Viola Spolin and who she was and what she is about, and then I'm going to read a quick excerpt from this book, and then we'll have a little discussion on it. So first of all, just to give a little background, Viola Spolin, she was a daughter of Russian immigrants. And at 18 years old, she became interested in social work and enrolled at what was called Hull House, which was a community center that offered programs to Chicago's poor immigrant populations, which is going to be really important because later on, she basically, the way in which she helped these children who oftentimes came from a variety of different cultural backgrounds and language backgrounds, so they really couldn't connect. And it's scary to be in another country where you don't know the language and the culture is completely different. So she challenged herself in playing games with them, having them act out scenes, and getting them into that sort of play brain, and getting them out of their shell, getting them out of their heads, out of their fear, as we've talked about in this episode. So what I'm about to share with you guys is this excerpt from Improv Nation that kind of talks about her teaching style, because I was really kind of inspired by what they said about her teaching style. And then again, it reminded me of this idea of coaching, rather being a teacher, but being more of a coach. So let's see. It says here, first of all, the games were really what the whole class was. And this is a quote from a former student of hers. Although Viola didn't call them theater games at the time, she called them improvisation. So there, she even coined the term. Divesting herself, this is not a quote, divesting herself of parental power and authority, Viola said it was the games, not the teacher, that instructed. That was important. Playing the role of teacher could introduce what she called approval/disapproval syndrome and inhibit spontaneity. Viola was careful then not to become a rule maker, but rather a diagnostician, which I think is interesting, prescribing a specific game to each actor to address specific interpersonal block. Was a player struggling to relate physically with the others? Have them play contact, in which the individual touches someone every time he says a line. Was a player thinking too much? Play mirroring someone else, and you stop thinking about yourself. Quote, we were guinea pigs for the games, Paul Sand said. She was creating them on us with us. So I love that because it touches on so much that we've already talked about with improv in terms of its therapeutic values. But I also love that she was, so mindful enough to sort of take herself out as that authoritarian role. And also kind of, what do I want to say? She catered the games to what the children were having struggles with. So I'm wondering, Joe, if that comes up for you, or what your thoughts are about, because you are also obviously a coach and teacher, or whatever you want to call it, of improv. So
I'll take all those labels. Yes,
okay.
I don't know that I can't speak for her, but it seems to me from what I've read, trying to build community and get these immigrant children playing together and feeling comfortable. I've just in the past couple years, really started analyzing what's happening in our brain and in our emotions underneath zip zap zop, just to bring back that example, if you will.
Mhm.
And I found that once we start analyzing those and reflecting, taking time to reflect on how we feel in that moment, like I said, gives us that opportunity to feel comfortable in the uncomfortable and gain those skills, but also really slow down and pay attention in this incredibly fast-paced world that we live in today.
Yeah.
So 100% I see where she was like really taking off the mantle of I'm the teacher coach and coming down as an equal.